Good evening, VV Nation, and welcome to the VectorVest Channel if this is your first time tuning in. My name is Ryan, always a pleasure giving these 6 p.m. videos. Now, my co-host, I have to give him a lot of credit. Glenn has put you on the right side of the trade when it comes to aerospace and defense stocks. They are hot. So tonight's presentation, we're going to utilize one of our most popular, most effective graph layouts being the near perfect indicator, and we're going to see how that matches up, both with the sector chart, so that way we can see how the stocks are moving collectively when it comes to aerospace and defense. And then we're going to dive into the top 10 VST stocks for aerospace and defense. That's giving us a sense of overall value, safety, and timing when it comes to these positions. So if you're thinking about adding defense stocks to your portfolio, or if you have some defense stocks already in your portfolio and you want to make sure you stay on the right side of the trade, then this presentation is just for you. Memorial Day is upon us, which means summer is approaching fast, and if you have not hit your financial objectives, take advantage of the special. Our educational courses up to 73% off select courses. Take advantage of this offer. Just go to VectorVest.com/sale. Now this offer does expire June 2nd, so act fast. We're in the VectorVest 7 software and looking at the sector graph of aerospace and defense. Now that being said, we do have this on the near perfect indicator layout. Now the near perfect indicator layout looks at both trend, and to do so, we look at a 5-day and a 40-day moving average of our stop price. And then down below, to get a sense of trigger or the shorter term trend, we utilize 2 moving averages of our RT relative timing, looking at the 5-day and 40-day moving average of RT. And down below, I have EPS here, earnings per share, forecasted earnings per share. You see a nice steady rise since 2023 of this forecasted data. Let's zoom into a 1-year time span. We noticed that since the beginning of the year, their forecasted earnings per share relatively flat. We do see a little notch higher in the last few trading sessions. This space has been in quite a channel. You can see the bottom of this channel here coming in around $86, the top of the channel. Really a zone. I have the bottom of the zone around $95.67 and the top of the zone around $97. And we see price action of the aerospace sector here breaking above this channel. Nice retest right at the top of this support zone with a pivot and a brand new high to follow suit. So it's exactly why I'm optimistic about this space getting confirmation with our stop prices in a bullish manner here, getting our subscribers into the space as early as April 15th. However, with confirmation the following day, with the 5-day RT surpassing the 40-day, coming at 0.81 compared to 7.79. And since that confirmation, utilizing the near perfect indicator, you see the sector off to the races. The bulls clearly have charged. 3 very bullish open candlesticks here, very little wicks at the top, currently trading at 101.63. So now that we're seeing optimism in the sector, we see the trade set up here. Nice retest off this support zone being the top of the channel recently and a new high. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the VectorVest 7 top 10 picks. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. These are the top 10 aerospace and defense stocks within the VectorVest 7 system by overall VST, or value, safety, and timing. The 3 columns before RV, which looks at long-term price appreciation potential, RS, relative safety, and RT, our short-term price trend indicator, just letting you know if it's the right time, right? If the stock is moving up or down. So that being said, look at the top. We've got 78 stocks. The stock chart that we just looked at, the sector chart, that has an accumulation of all 78 of these stocks. We're just looking at the top 10. So the first thing I want to see if there's any value left in some of these positions here. If we take a look at Leonardo coming at $31, we value the stock at $26.54. Now this is not a price target. This is just what we feel that the stock is currently worth. If we want to find value in the space, we've got innovation, solutions, and support. Otherwise, the rest of these stocks here are all in overvalued territory here, showing that investors are willing to pay a premium for this space. Now, if we look at the companies fundamentally, RV and RS, majority of these stocks, all but one, Redwire Corp here, has favorable RV, letting us know that there's great potential for long-term price appreciation amongst these stocks. And as far as safety ratings here, the top 7 have an RS above 1, while the bottom 3, starting with Astronics Corp, all the way down to Redwire again, do have an RS below 1. So you're taking on a little bit more risk with these positions. Now, if we take a look at RT relative timing, all of these stocks are currently in an uptrend, and more so, I mean, if you think about it, this This indicator is on a 0 to 2 scale, and a lot of these stocks here are showing very high momentum to the upside. So if you're more of a momentum trader, the highlighted ones here are going to show a lot of momentum to the upside right now. But collectively, all of these stocks do have a VST greater than 1 right now. So overall value, safety, and timing is there. They all have buy recommendations. And if we look at the forecasted growth rate and earnings, double digits across the board. So you can see exactly why I'm enthused about these stocks in general. So let's take a look at the charts and see if there's any opportunities presenting themselves. All right, again, we're going to use the NPI or near perfect indicator layout. Look at the trend that has kept us in this trade for at least 6 months now. I'm on a 6-month time span. As far as the trigger, there was a little bit of a dip here, but we are getting confirmation back to the upside with the RT 5-day moving above the 40-day over the last few trading sessions. And with rising earnings, I do like this position. The next one here is ISSC. We can see the trend just became in our favor here as well. RT relative timing, the trigger getting us in a little earlier than the trend. You see at April 25th when price action was around $6, the stock currently trading at $10.40. If you're looking for confirmation, take out the prior swing high at $10.85. But with rising forecasted earnings, another great position here. Here we have CW Curtis Wright Corp. You can see the bulls clearly in control here. Very few red candlesticks. By looking at our moving averages of stop price have been favorable since April 30th. RT relative timing, moving averages in a bullish manner, rising earnings. I scroll through these positions here again and again. These stocks are meeting the attributes of the NPI and the NPI layout, getting our subscribers in relatively early when it comes to these trades here. Katos Defense, the trend is in our favor, but we can see that the 5-day is converging closer to that 40-day moving average, so have a little caution there. Other than that, the forecasted earnings per share slightly lower than it was prior 6 months ago. Here's another one, earnings per share on the decline over the past few months. However, if you are a technical trader looking for momentum, the momentum is here when it comes to this position with the trend in our favor as well. We've had trigger now since the beginning of April 10th here. As I continue to scroll down these stocks, we see a great list of stocks here showing momentum to the upside for the bulls, some of them hitting new 6-month highs. RT in our favor, trend in our favor, rising earnings. Again, HomeMet Aerospace and Defense, another stock to have on your radar right now. Here's Astronics Corp. Trend in our favor for quite some time. Even the moving averages keeping us in the trade during the recent pullback for the bulls just to come back, taking price action even further higher to the upside. And look at earnings per share on the rise since April, showing some optimism when it comes to this position. When it comes to Smart Tech, nice lower left, upper right price action. Trend is in our favor. We have trigger, rising earnings. Again, AZ. Now the last stock on the list is the only one where trend is not in our favor right now. The 5-day moving average stop still remains below the 40, but put this one on your radar because they are converging closer together. So if that 5-day can cross above the 40, giving some optimism for the bulls. But in the meantime, if you're a little bit more aggressive, we do have the trigger here when it comes to the 5-day and 40-day moving average of RT. Now, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's video. Some of these positions actually showing some optimism, some good positioning for the bulls. So I just wanted to put these stocks on your radar since the sector of aerospace and defense has been hot lately. We all know the headlines, a lot of positivity and a lot of spending when it comes to these companies, especially with defense budgets increasing, for example, the EU going forward. Now, again, my name is Ryan. If you like the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow night.